Hello everybody, it is Anna, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Angels with Scaly Wings. Now, I have been going very back and forth between what I want to do for this series, because there's a certain order that you're technically supposed to go in to get every single idea about the plot and the story. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna follow that and go through it. Basically, which means this first run we're doing a neutral ending, which means we're just focusing on the story of the murder plot and everything, and the game's going to go a little bit quicker if we do that. At least this first run. Because this first run is like an introduction to the game, essentially. So I made the collective decision that I am just not going to touch any more dates in this run. We are just going to kind of go through and focus on the story and stuff like that. So yeah, so we're not going to date anybody. We're going to get some well-deserved rest. In the end, I decided to spend the day relaxing in my apartment. I didn't know when things would start to pick up again, so I figured it would be better to get some rest as long as I still could. Sorry. Dude, dang, that chapter noise is so loud. Everything else is not that loud. Another day, another morning. I awoke from dreams filled with fire and smoke. The sun shining through the window gave me a comforting feeling of familiarity, despite the portal in the distance reminding me of my purpose here. I looked towards the horizon, my view undisturbed by dividing walls. The light of the morning sun was painting the sky with golden hues, a view that had become a rarity back home. It evoked a feeling of freedom and openness that was almost scary to me. While I got ready for the day, my thoughts stayed to the people I knew back home. I couldn't help but wonder how they were doing. But I had greater things to worry about at the moment, like Riza, murders, and generators. How much danger was I in, really? Hey, Will. Hey, Chief. More bad news? Not quite, unless you count Riza still missing as bad news. That's kind of why I'm here. Well, what is it? Just some good old-fashioned police work, and we're counting on your help, again. Sure, sign me up. Great. We obtained a list of places Riza visited in the days before he vanished. We'll check those out, maybe find a lead. And he might help us understand his motivations or give us some context to his actions. I can certainly try. I'm sure you'll do a great job. That is reassuring. Are you ready to go? Sure, let's go. There's a couple of places we can check out. Let's see, where should we go first? While Bryce focused on the list, I saw someone approach out of the corner of my eye. Closer look revealed that it was Sebastian, waving his arm in an attempt to get our attention as he ran towards us, his face grave. There you are, Chief. I was looking for you. What are you doing here? Don't tell me there's another dead person. Sorry, Chief, there is. Damn, it's going to be one of those days. Yeah, it looks that way. Someone else can take care of that today, though. We've got other plans. You'll need to sign off on a few things at least. I know. We'll go to the crime scene. Sign a few forms, and then we're out. We arrived at the scene. I saw the poor victim next to one of the houses. The obligatory sheet that was draped over him provided a modicum of discretion, but did nothing to hide the crime that had occurred. All right, give me the story. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. The wounds match those of the last victim, so a similar, if not identical, murder weapon is likely. The victim? Maintenance person for this area, and the electricity is out. The power goes out, maintenance guy shows up and is killed before he can fix the problem. At least that's my theory. So, power for the whole block is still out. That is correct. We should get that fixed as soon as possible. We don't need civilians showing up around here complaining about sitting in the dark. Good point. Bryce's snout wrinkled with distaste as he glanced over Sebastian's shoulder. Damn, not again. What is it? What are you doing here, Maverick? A second victim, huh? There's an official investigation, so you better not cross the police line. Shunned by my own colleagues. This is ridiculous. You know how it is. Rules are rules. And without rules, murders like this one will be allowed to happen and go unpunished. Have your fun without me, then. What do you think he wanted here, Chief? That one's easy. To do his own investigation, just like he said he would. Shouldn't be surprised he showed up. But I guess we're lucky we arrived before he did. I agree. Better check out the power outage now. Of course, I think the door to the maintenance room is right around here. You got a flashlight, Seb? Always, Chief. You should go first, then. I don't have my stuff here. Besides, putting on that head mount is such a hassle. I remember, you complain about that every time it comes up. There, that should do the trick. There, that should do the trick. I think that's Sebastian's voice. You just stay behind me, Will, alright? Okay. Gah, I hate stairs. Especially those made for smaller dragons like you. Trust me, having it the other way around isn't too great either. I dislike all kinds of stairs. I just dislike all kinds of stairs, period. That's what I'm talking about. This kind of reminds me of when we found that underground base or whatever it was. Remember, Chief? How could I not? It wasn't that long ago. Underground base? Yeah, the portal wasn't the only piece of ancient technology we found. There was also this whole lab near it. Seemed to have some high-tech stuff in there. At least that place doesn't have as many stairs. Wait, so you not only found the portal, but a whole facility along with it? Yes, but we're not sure how much the two are actually related. We spent all the time studying the portal and barely got anywhere with it. This stuff is just beyond what we know. Here we are. Here we are. So what exactly are we looking for? Whatever's causing the power outage. If we don't find the cause, we should at least be able to get the backup running. Looks like the generator is gone. Mystery solved. Sound of creaking metal penetrated the stillness of the room. I looked above toward the source of the noise and stang that as it grew louder, and in the next instant I was pushed sideways and fell to the ground, just barely avoiding the giant light fixture that fell from the ceiling and shattered into countless pieces alongside me. Will, are you all right? The next thing I saw was a hooded figure standing above me, barely visible against the darkness that permeated the room. The figure crouched down next to me, its mask hovering right in front of my face. Merely a whisper reached my ears when it spoke. Be careful, Will. Then the figure dashed towards the stairs. Where are you going? That's not me! Don't move! He's going up the stairs! I'm on it! I didn't see that chair coming! Can't see a damn thing in here! Sorry, guys. Oof. Here, Chief. Here, Chief. I hate these stupid stairs. You're blocking the way. Just go around me. There's no room. You're as wide as the stairs are. I can't help it. Damn it. We'll never catch him now. By the time we found our way back up, the mysterious figure was nowhere to be found. Got a long search ahead of us, and with a head start like that, there might be no end to it. We have to take our chances as long as we still can. Except that chance is growing smaller and smaller while we wait for the team to arrive. What even happened down there? Right, Will, tell us everything in as much detail as you can. There wasn't much to it. I heard a noise, I looked up, the light fixture came down, then someone pushed me. You mean Riza? Guess so. What do you mean? Didn't you see him? Whoever it was wearing a mask. It bloody well can't be someone else, so let's not kid ourselves here. Why would he wear that whole getup, though? He didn't want to be recognized. That's a bad excuse when there's only two humans here. as a sort of camouflage. Good point. This whole thing doesn't make any sense. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Your earlier theory about what happened was pretty sound, Sebastian. Let's go with that, and add that bit about the generator being stolen. So now the question is, who has a motive for stealing a generator? Riza. Right. Who else would need to steal a generator when those who live here could either buy or even simply request one? Not to mention, Riza was the one who arranged the diplomatic trade for the generators in the first place. Can't deny the fact that your generators are pretty important to us, but resorting to murder? We all saw the human figure running away. Why would he stay here if he stole it? Why would he remain here if he was the one who stole it? The generator was already gone when we got here, and the person in question wasn't carrying it either. Perhaps this is the case where the criminal has returned to the crime scene? For this kind of crime, I'd say no. Who knows? Maybe our rules just don't apply anymore. What do you mean? No offense, but ever since you two humans arrived, there have been a lot of strange things going on. This place used to be a quiet town. So you think it was reasonable? Honestly, things are looking great for him right now. Still our top priority to find him. But after what we've seen here today, I'm not sure what will happen when we do. I just don't want to give you any false hope, you know? I see. Maybe we should just focus on finding him and point fingers later. Agreed. The police team will be here any minute now. You don't have to get involved with the search, but that doesn't mean you can't help us. What do you want me to do? We still have a list of places where we're going to check out, remember? We can't go now. The search takes priority. Of course, we'll still check out all those places after we're done here. But if you go on your own, you can speed up the process. You can even find a lead for us, who knows? Sure thing. Great. Here's the list. Considering your status, you shouldn't have any trouble in these places. But if anything happens, call me and I'll check up on you later. Wait a minute, you mean I'm going all by myself? All of us are going to be busy with the search, and we can't really afford to spare someone right now. You'll be fine. Aren't you worried I'll do something fishy? I mean, isn't that why Reese and I were assigned police escorts in the first place? That policy was mostly Maverick's fault, and he's out of the picture. My authority is cheap, I say you can go alone. I already know where you're going, and besides, I trust you. If you were in cahoots with Riza, you would have run off with him when you had the chance. Good point. Ah, I see the team approaching. Guess you should get going. Alright, see you later then. Good luck. It was a relief to leave the crime scene, considering all that had happened. When I reached into my pocket to take a look at the list, however, I found something unexpected. A small piece of paper with the word Tatsu written on it. How did it get there? My earlier encounter with the masked person was the only time today someone was close enough to smuggle something into my pocket. I figured if someone like Bryce tried to do something like that, I definitely would have noticed. As for Tatsu, the only related thing I could think of was Tatsu Park, which I had come across when I went to the police station the other day. Even if the park was the place the mysterious paper referred to, I don't know if it was actually a good idea to visit. The masked person may have saved me from the falling light fixture, but if it was Riza, it would mean following someone who was also the prime suspect of 2 murders. I also had to consider the list of places Riza had been to. The local grocery store, the production facility we had visited, and the library were the 3 places closest here. It certainly was going to be a busy day, and I knew I wouldn't have the time to visit all of them. Well, let's visit the production facility. Riza was allegedly here at some point. Maybe I should ask him. Hello? Anybody here? Can I help you? I was looking for Anna. This is her lab, right? Why don't I ever get any recognition? This is my lab as much as it is hers. Either way, Anna's not here. Would that be all? Since you work here, maybe you can help me instead. Oh, of course. Your precious Anna isn't here to settle for me. I see how it is. That's not what I meant. Of course. Let's just get this over with. You can start by telling me who you are. Here's a short version. My name is Damien. I work in this facility, and I'm fortunate enough to live the nightmare of having to deal with Anna on a daily basis. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. And you are? You don't know who I am? Of course I know who you are. Your assumption validated the point I was going to make. You see, this whole thing about your coming here has been blown out of proportion. Like it's some huge event that everyone should be celebrating. Newsflash, not everyone cares. Once both of you are gone, life will return to normal. We can all go back to what we actually should be doing. I imagine a lot of this has to do with those human myths you have. I can only reiterate, not everyone cares. What exactly did you want again? Has Riza been here recently? Do you know anything about Riza's visits to this facility? I've seen him a few times. He would come by to ask the progress of the generators. There's this one time when Anna told him she'd have news, but when he came over, she just wanted to run some tests on him. Did he go through with it? No, he wanted some compensation, I suppose. Nothing she could offer satisfied him, however, and that was that. How long have you known Anna? Why do you care about that? Maybe I want to find out what kind of person she is. You might have an idea. I'll put it this way, I've known her for far too long. What kind of research is Anna doing? Cancer research. She thinks she can cure it, but she's out of her mind. Is that such a bad thing? The way she does it, yes. She's wasting resources that could be better spent on projects with an actual chance of success. What kind of research are you doing? Right now, I guess I got tasked with running all those tests on your blood. You did? That's right. She goes out and does whatever the heck she wants. I get to keep an eye on the experiment. Any interesting results? Not just yet, but soon we'll know more about your body than you do. That's all. Thanks for your help. Yeah. I got some more time left. What should I do? Tetsu Park. Here I am. I don't even know what I'm looking for, though. You never know what you'll find in a pavilion. Let's do this. I found something. It's a round smooth orb the size of a bowling ball. Wait a minute. I recognize this. It looks like something I saw in one of the books the other day. Might as well take it with me. Again, I guess she'll look harder this time. There doesn't seem to be anything important here, but at least it provides excellent shade. No, nothing here. Again? Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, search the shrubbery. Yeah, this totally won't look strange or suspicious. Here we go. No! Not the dragons who say nee! No, it's just, I found some dirt. There doesn't seem to be anything else here. Read the sign. The park is dedicated to our creator, to whom we owe our sentience and existence. This is our duty to remember. This place honors them every day with its beauty. It grants a place of recreation and contemplation to all of us. The creator. Interesting. This park is bigger than I thought. I could go north towards Tatsu Avenue, which apparently is a nice spot to look at the landscape, or south to the Political District. Where should I go? North towards Tatsu Avenue. Rest on the bench. Finally, a place to sit down. View of the scenery is perfect. That was nice. I was just about to go when I noticed something sitting next to me. Whoa, I didn't see you there. I thought you were a statue or something. Hello? Well, maybe it is a statue, or I just turned invisible. I hope it's not the latter. I don't recognize this species of tree. On the metal cover of the hatch, there are two buttons which are situated to the left and right of a central circular lever. The arrow on the lever is pointing up. First button is not pressed, this is flush with the metal covering of the hatch. Second button is not pressed, this is flush with the metal covering of the hatch. The arrow on the lever is not pointing left. I looked down to see the maintenance tunnels for the underground drain system. Pale objects starkly contrasted against the pitch-black backdrop. It's cloth with suspicious red markings all over it. I guess that's all to be found down here. Where should I go? Just in a southern part of the park, I found myself tumbling to the ground when someone suddenly bumped into me. Ouch! Sorry about that. Are you alright? Besides being a little dirtier than before, I think so. I should really look where I'm going. Sometimes I just get lost in my thoughts. Hey, I think you dropped this. Oh, thank you. Ghost stories, huh? Yep, I should probably go before the bookstore closes. Bye! Bye? There's someone sitting on the benches. It's a most pleasant surprise to be meeting you here, Will. Do you know who I am? I'm afraid I don't. Then let me fill that gap in your knowledge. My name is Emma, and I am the Minister of Culture and Arts. I see. And what brings you here today, Will? I'm not quite sure of that myself. Ah, the park does have an appeal that naturally draws people in. I would know, since I'm partly responsible for creating it. Have you seen the north side yet? If not, you totally should. It's just so pretty this time of year. You created this park? Well, some of it. Do you see the building behind me? That's where I work. Do you want to know a secret? The park was built here so I can enjoy going outside of my breaks, like right now, for example. Can I ask you a question? You can ask for sure, but whether I can answer or not is another question. What would you like to know? About your visit. What do you think about us visiting this world? You and Riza. Well, I think it is about the most exciting thing that's happened here in the last few years. It certainly has been a nice distraction from the other boring things I have to do at work. How so? Arranging your arrival was partly my responsibility. In fact, I would have been at the portal to welcome you myself if something didn't come up at the last second. About your job. Can you tell me more about your job? I could, but I think overall it's a very boring affair. It involves a lot of reading and talking and approving or rejecting forms and projects. Excuse me. It has its perks, but in some ways I'll certainly be happy when my term is over. If you've been minister once, that's something people remember you for. Even if those times are long past, no one can ever take that away from you again. You mentioned your term ending. How does that work here? We, the ministers, serve our term and then someone else takes our place. Only one minister changes at a time, though. Technically speaking, any person can become a minister, though there are certain standards and requirements that must be met in order to apply for office. I don't want to bore you with the details, as that too would be a long and tedious affair. It's about Tatsu Park. Can you tell me more about Tatsu Park? Well, I'm not so sure there's that much to say about it. It just opened recently. I think the initial request was more open spaces, like a dedicated place for people to gather and such. If you read the plaque, you would know that the park was dedicated to our so-called creator. I say creator like that because I think that word is a bit of a misnomer. But I suppose people still use it regardless. That's all. Sorry. I suppose I should be getting back to work anyway. Well, thank you for this most pleasant conversation, Will. You know, if you wanted to continue talking at a later time, you should have no difficulty contacting me. I'll keep that in mind. I don't think I'll find anything else here. Afternoon sun hung low in the sky, and I decided it was time to report my findings to the police. A brief call to the department, and I was on my way to an appointment with Sebastian. I'm not sure how my findings will help, but at least I have something. Look who we have here. I turned around to see Maverick. His intense gaze confirmed that there was no one else his words could have been directed at. Even with the civilians passing by in the background, I suddenly felt very alone. What do you want from me? Answers. Okay, then start talking. Just tell me one thing. Why? What is your goal in all of this? Why even come here? You know why. We came as ambassadors for humanity and oversee the trade we agreed on. No, that won't do. That's simply not true. You know it, and I know it. I just don't get why you can't be honest with me, even when you know no one else is listening. You know I can't touch you. If I did, it would be over for me, at least as long as I don't have any proof. In the end, what difference does it make if I know? No one is going to believe me anyway. Do you wish to kill me too, like Riza? I would never do such a thing. Is that so? Tell me, why would an ambassador need such a dangerous tool in the first place? I know you claim not to have one of those things Riza injured me with. You didn't have any when they searched you. But I guess it's way too late for safety precautions at this point. You could have hidden one anywhere. That damn hurt, you know. But even worse than that was getting thrown aside by Bryce. I trust him, but after what happened, he doesn't trust me anymore. No, now there's only you, the mythical, the special, The new. How much I wish I could make him see what I see. I could have saved the world with what I did that day, and it still wouldn't matter when no one believes me, just because I don't have any proof. But I won't stop until I find some. And when I do, I'm gonna be a damn hero. And with that, he was gone. On the way to the police station, Maverick's words kept finding their way back into my mind. I couldn't decide how to feel about them. I wasn't even sure if it was worth mentioning to the police, since all he did was make vague accusations. It wasn't anything substantial enough to be considered a threat. However, his actions were growing more calculated. He seemed very sure of himself. I wondered about what this could amount to, but that wasn't the problem at hand. Hey, Will. Hey, Sebastian. I thought I'd meet you at the front desk. What are we doing at Bryce's office?
Hey, Will. He does have a nice office, doesn't he? And the chairs are comfy.
Is that the only reason we're in here? The dragon gave a brief chuckle.
Let's just say that any information pertaining to this case is important enough to warrant some privacy.
I see. Will Bryce be here anytime soon?
I don't think so. He's still outside looking for Riza. He's not the kind of person who gives up easily.
Can't we help?
There's only so much we can do. I was out searching too until I came to meet you. At this rate, it doesn't look like we'll find him today. He could be anywhere, long gone, beyond our reach. What do you think?
I don't think he's going anywhere. He can't flee to another place. No matter where he goes, he'd be recognized immediately. In the end, his only way out is the same way he got in, the portal. And he can't use that without someone noticing.
Very astute observation.
I wonder what will happen to our trade agreement now. Considering Riza's still missing, the murders and the stolen generator. If Riza really is the murderer, then...
Don't do that.
What?
Worry.
You don't know what's at stake here.
People are dead, Will. Do you think I don't know that? Riza may be our prime suspect, but he's also a missing person. For all we know, he could be a victim. Maybe someone is making him do this. My point is, we don't know the facts yet. What we need to do is find him and find the murderer. We'll find Riza and go from there. We'll figure it out.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Anyway, you said you had some information for us. So what did you find? The bandage you found is something, all right. Of course, it could be anyone's. But why would someone discard this in a place like that? It seems suspicious to me, and it's certainly worth checking out. I'll make sure it gets to the right place. I'm not sure if there's anything special about Anna wanting Riza's blood. I mean, she's a scientist, so it's natural that she'd be interested in something like that. We'll have to talk to her about it, though. Maybe she has some more details for us. Well done, Will. That gives us some solid points from which we can continue our investigation.
You did well in this second investigation.
In any case... we really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
That should be all, then, since Bryce still hasn't come back. I assume the search is still going, and I better get out there and help him. Guess it's going to be a long day. Can you find your way back to your apartment?
Of course.
Alright, I'll see you later. Good luck.
Finally, some free time. Looks like there's some interest in the answer machine. Let me see, please. Should be.
It's the answer machine, but it was me, Adine. I know we talked about me coming over again, but I thought, why not mix it up and come to me instead? I mean, it's not like I can use your excuse to pretend to order something from you. After all, you don't even have anything to sell or deliver unless... Well, I don't think you're that kind of person. Oh, I do hope that's the right number, or someone is going to be very confused.
Well, she did get the right number, and I'm still confused. Whoa. Sebastian's ending. Huh. Huh. Well, we're pretty much done anyway, so, yeah, so we won't be playing with this mod. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this mod and reload. We're gonna roll back. to wherever we're having an issue. To continue, this often leads to additional errors. Oh well, I'm gonna have to figure this out. But while I figure this out, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to more more content, especially more dragon dating shenanigans in Angels of Scaly Wings. Also make sure to share this video far and wide so we get as many eyes on the series as possible. And I'm gonna figure out why in the heck this mod is having an issue. So I'm gonna go ahead, copy this to clipboard, search things and find around, and I'll see you guys next time.